Hi there, artisans. Welcome back to this channel. This is Rochelle Rosenberg. Do you want to learn how to paint this painting and this water illusion and all the materials that I use? Come on and hang around with me.
On point. Now is my time to shine.
So today's painting, we have an abstract shape and it will be a water illusion. I know that it's not easy to paint water, and I have struggled so many years just to paint and practice how to paint water. And today we're just gonna create some water illusion using a graphite, aquarelle, and a watercolor. So by the way, graphite aquarelle works just the same as a watercolor, but the difference is that the pencil is activated with water. And for this painting, I actually just painted the paper with just plain water, and to make it more lively, I have to put a basic blue background for the water. And as you can see, there are already lines that I have created there. They're just some kind of abstract triangles and lines that I created. So it will become just the illusions of the water. Now I'm going through the water shadings, just making sure where I want those dark tones would be, because some of the other lines that I created with the graphite pencil before will be filled with the watercolor, and it will be different colors. So as you can see, there are small lines far above the image, and then down below they become a little bit more wider. And it's because if you actually stand nearby a body of water, farther from your eyes, you can see that the smaller it gets, the shadows get smaller, and the nearer the water comes near to you, then the shadows become as well larger. So that's the idea of all of these shadows and all of the lines, just to create a quick sketch. And by the way, if you are new to graphite aquarelle, this is actually one of the best pencils that you can invest in all your art creation, because you can dissolve them in water if you are painting watercolor. But if you are also painting in acrylic or oil, this can be a great preliminary sketch, because they will not stick into the canvas, and they actually melt away or activated with anything that is a liquid. So probably you have to try, and the one that I'm using right now is a Faber Castell. So now I'm starting to color the top with blue, right? So I've divided this into three. Okay, the first step would be light, the second would be kind of mid dark tone, and then further nearer me would be very dark tones. And my imagination here just flow, because this is just a loose painting. Now regarding this abstract sequence of painting, this is actually the last painting that I paint here in this apartment before we're moving to the new one. And I actually have painted almost 100 plus something that I can remember. And there are also small projects that I have done even for other commissions that were ordered, but I can't remember all of those. So most of the things that I actually just numbered are almost 100 plus. And it's so amazing because I've seen the changes through the years with all the arts and all the practices that I've done. I actually have learned a lot, and even though I knew some of the basics and some of the techniques, there are still new things that I discovered every time I paint. And those honest mistakes are actually quite good for me to experience, because some of them I could have used in like a mix of new technique, you know. And it's exciting in painting because you actually don't need to be so much concerned about perfection, because in painting there's no such word perfection. The perfection is just an illusion, but what I want to achieve mostly is the life within the painting. I want to understand the story within the painting. I want to understand the flow and how it is created, the creativity, and you know, all of these strokes of the brush could tell a lot about the artist actually, and the way it is painted thoroughly. Right. So now I think you can see a little bit of changes within the painting. You see that I've painted a little bit of turquoise, a little bit of light blue and dark blue, and mint green, and I also have a dark green, and trying to create some of these burnt umber as well. Probably I'm imagining rocks in here, so that's why I do that. But it doesn't matter how you do your painting, by the way. You just have to create them, and you don't need to be bothered about the perfection, as I've said. Just to strive hard for the creativity, for the composition, for the right source of light, the right sizes of the shapes that you're creating, and then color them. You know, don't be worried of too much perfection, because when you do that, sometimes you might lose your imagination or the fantasy. So I've been enjoying painting for the past few years in with colors, because I've been sketching so many times since childhood, and I think that I actually have learned a lot, because I've gained a lot of patience as well within myself. I've learned how to wait, for example, with the process in every steps that I do. And it's quite interesting that in these kinds of process, sometimes it tests our patience. Hey, now it's so exciting to shade all of these graphite shades. As you can see, these are the ones that I actually shaded a while ago from the beginning of this painting. Those dark tones are graphite. So as you can see, they blended well in the painting. And actually, if you buy them, they will come into 5 pens. They come with the HB, the ordinary hard black, and then comes to the 2, 4, 6, and 8B. So those are like 5 shadings that you can actually use when you are going to paint, or whenever you're going to use the graphite aquarelle. And as you can see, the more I use it, they are actually works very well, and they do as they promise. So don't forget the Faber Castell. You can go and check it in your art store, or probably in Amazon if you find them in Amazon. Here in Sweden, I just bought them around $1 or $10 or so, yeah, because they were on sale here. So that's why I grabbed the opportunity to buy them, because I think that they will become so interesting in every painting that I do. Right, so this is the final painting that I created, and I hope that you learned a lot within this process, and I hope to see you again on the next art. Thank you so much for supporting this channel.
Shadows overnight, and until then you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite. Plan for intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you send it a wishing. Listen, do your own math and learn from the stuff that you are missing. Create your own path with your own vision.